Hey, and welcome to the Jessica Paul podcast. I'm your host, Jess Paul, actress, manifestation expert, and mindset coach. And I'm here to share with you all of my secrets on confidence, success, and the magic of manifestation. If you're ready to dive in deep and see more success in your career, more money in your bank account, and more love in your life with a whole new level of freedom, then you're in the right place. I'm letting loose on everything you need to take back control of your life, up-level your mindset, and tap into your manifestation powers. I'm so excited that you're here. Guys, I'm back. I'm literally sitting down to record this in my studio again. The time is 11:11, just all aligned. I'm really happy to be back home. So, I'm just going to go straight into updating you all because obviously last episode was all about, I recorded it whilst I was in hospital, so that in itself was different. But welcome back everybody to this week's episode of the JP podcast. So lovely to have you all here again, and for those of you that are jumping on in this community, it's amazing. I've had some messages from some of you guys that I actually haven't spoken to in years, and I had no idea you were listening, and it's so nice to know that, this is making an impact and helping you guys. So welcome. Okay, so I literally have just got back to my flat. My mum dropped me back round. I came out of hospital on the Thursday, so I had 7 nights in hospital. And I had a massive dip, guys. This is because today I want to talk about the power of a positive mindset. I want to talk about being superhuman in that way. And actually, since coming out of the hospital and spending time at home with my mum and dad, who were looking after me, I have had a whole new concept for a new masterclass that I'm going to be bringing out. And this is going to be based upon everything that I've learned. And again, how to help you guys cultivate that mindset of success, really, and being superhuman in these moments where you feel like everything's kind of falling apart, or, you feel like you're behind, or you're being left behind, or you're feeling these pressures. How to navigate that with your mindset is so important. And I literally had the inspiration for all of that whilst I was whilst I was recovering at home. But I won't lie to you guys, I had a real dip when I came out of hospital. It was almost in a way like you come out and your mind is telling you, oh, well, I must be better then. And then your body is saying something completely different. And, almost in a way, I hadn't really processed what had happened to me. I actually listened to my last episode back because I wanted to check that the sound quality was all right and everything like that. But I listened to what I was saying whilst I was in hospital, and I couldn't even really say in that episode that I almost died. I couldn't even say it. I hadn't even really processed it. And then since coming out of hospital, I actually realized the severity of what had happened to me. And you try and cover it up by not really saying it, but it was almost in a way, guys, I know this sounds crazy, but it was almost in a way I had PTSD from being in hospital that I hadn't processed. And then when I got out of hospital, I was just randomly crying about everything. Which is great, though. It's a release of emotion, and I needed to do that, right? But I did have had to sit down and have a chat with my mum, and she just said to me, Jess, you just need to treat your body with care because you've gone through something incredibly traumatic, and you can't just come out after 7 days and expect everything to go back to normal. And that was it was very hard hitting for me because that's exactly what I thought when I came out. I took those first steps out of hospital. I was like, okay, I'm better now, let's go. And I literally, I think it was the day after I'd come out, I went to Marks and Spencer with my gran and my mum, literally just to go and take some clothes back from my gran. And I couldn't even handle that. I had to sit down halfway through, have a full fat Coke and literally like get my energy levels back up again. And then after that, for the whole weekend, I literally just slept and slept and slept. And I was in bed. I was in and out of bed just the whole time. And my body really needed that. And then obviously woken up today. It's Monday. Then I'm recording this. I just thought, you know what? I'm sat in my flat right now because I've just come back. So I'm just gonna get out my equipment and record because I'm in the mood, right? So it's Monday today, and I'm feeling so much better because I listened to what my body wanted, and it was so eye-opening to me because I work a lot, and I don't even really call it work because my business is based on love and passion. And so what I do is just, it's a way of life for me, right? But I did realize how much time I spend on social media and, and how much time I the hours that go into that I'm not even aware of in terms of working hard, because this is something that I preach to my clients, that we don't have to work hard to be successful, right? If you maybe some of you listening to this are business owners, or as I always say, if you're influencers, if you're leaders, whoever you are, actors that are listening, you need to know that you don't have to work hard to be successful. And I realized that actually I've been working really freaking hard without realizing, because I have been loving what I've been doing, but I equally haven't been strict with myself in the sense of stopping completely. And so yeah, it's been eye-opening to me just how much I put into my content creation and how much I put into my business on a daily basis. Now, I coach business owners. Most of my one-on-ones are coaches themselves, light workers, influencers. I coach actors. I coach ambitious women, right, who are all leaders in their own right. And actually, this is something else, a big download that came through to me whilst I was in hospital. And that was just literally to say, Jess, you're coaching leaders. And then one of my one-on-one clients actually messaged me and said, I'm stepping into this leadership, and she was talking to me all about what she's got planning in her own business. And I thought, that is exactly right. I'm coaching leaders. And as leaders, it's very easy to fall into the trap of doing too much, right? And even if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I'm not a leader, girl, you probably are. You don't have to be a big CEO of a business to be a leader. You can be a leader just in the way that you're just in your energy, just in what you portray in a room, just in how you show up. You can be a leader, right? So when I say I'm coaching leaders, I mean people who are light workers, you don't have to have a business to be a light worker. You can just be a light worker by the way that you are in a room full of people, right? But as business owners especially, and as actors who want to be seen and things like this, we do an incredible amount. And because everything is online now, since COVID, really it is, everything is online. If you want to be seen, you've got to be able to show up online. If you don't have any sort of social media, how the hell is anybody going to notice you, right? And that's just a fact. I'm not saying that, anything is possible. So I'm not saying that you have to have social media, but I'm saying it's the way the world has evolved. And so basically, I'm going down a big rant here on social media and showing up, but this is what I teach, And I hadn't realized just how much energy I was putting into my content creation. And guys, this is all free content for you all. This is free content creation. It's valuable stuff that I'm, putting a lot of that energy into every day. And the pressures that come up for us when we are set back by something like this, by illness that is just out of my control. I couldn't, I was in bed for 7 days in hospital. I couldn't do anything about that at the time. Or if let's say you've had like some bad news in your family, or, you know, you've lost your job, or there's something that's happened that's beyond your control, right? We can get into this, we can feel the pressure, because we can feel, and this is personally what I felt like, and that I noticed and that I've journaled out on, but like this feeling of like you're getting left behind. Like maybe you were on a roll and then something's hit you and knocked you back, and now you feel like, oh my God, like I'm getting left behind. Everybody else is doing so much more than me, you know, and just feeling that kind of pressure of time is running out kind of feeling, you know. And I was really thinking about all of this during this time, because I'm again mentioned this in my previous episode, that you actually manifest the most when you do just stop and surrender and stop putting that pressure on yourself, right? Because your life, your business, your career, it's not going to fall apart if you take some time out, right? It really isn't. And that's like the main belief that holds us back. If we're living with a belief that we have to keep doing to maintain momentum, right? And this is also a phrase I've used a lot before, momentum of success. Yes, you get on that momentum and you're feeling that energy, but you can still be feeling that fast energy, right? That sped up energy, even when you're stopping and having a freaking afternoon nap, which is what I'm doing. I'm getting so used to having my afternoon naps now, right? And I'm being strict with myself on that. I actually get myself into bed and I say I'm lying down, right? You can still have sped up energy in those moments. Your energy doesn't have to slow down. Your positive mindset doesn't have to slow down. And this is really, like, again, what I want to dig into in this episode is, like I said before, the power of that positive mindset, because that is what is going to see you through these times where you are knocked back, and that niggly belief of, oh my God, I'm being left behind, or, you know, or I've got to get this stuff done, or, you know, or comparing yourself to other people. That niggly belief, you can basically tell to fuck off, because at the end of the day, you do have all the time in the world. Your life is working out for you. Time doesn't even exist. You are making everything work. Everything is aligning exactly the way it's supposed to for you right now. And therefore, of course you're going to be successful. Who cares if you've had a little setback? Who cares if, you know, you can't physically do the stuff right now? You're still going to be successful, right? So we want to talk about this. So I want to talk about this concept of being superhuman. Okay, this is something that, as I said just before, when I'd come out of hospital and I've spent a lot of time in bed sleeping, I had this download about this masterclass that I want to bring out, and I will be mentioning more about this soon. And it was just the name of it was just becoming superhuman. And what I really mean by that is that basically being beyond human in the moments that seem the hardest, or in the moments, you know, and like I said, that could either be physically, like physical illness, or it could be mentally the hardest, or, you know, emotionally the hardest. In those moments, being superhuman enough, like beyond human, because you are able to stay positive throughout those moments. You are able to be that, to choose, because it's a choice, to choose your belief system in those moments and go, no, I am choosing the better feeling thought. I'm not going to slip into victim mode. And victim mode is a place that I spent a lot of time in, right? Just one sec, because my podcast is... There we go. I had a pop-up on my computer. Victim mode is something that I fell into a lot, right, over the years. And really, like, that's just... When you fall into this mode, it's there's nothing wrong with you, right? And you got to be kind to yourself, because it's just because you crave love, right? You crave crave that love from somebody, and so you turn into this victim where everything is going wrong. You start saying the phrase "why me" a lot. Why is this happening to me? Why is it always me? And you fall into that kind of that frequency, basically, of victim, which only comes from a space of, because you need deep healing on a subconscious level in terms of self-love, and it relates back to all sorts of traumas. But I fell into that mode a lot because I needed attention back then. I really craved attention because I didn't feel like I was getting it from myself. And that really is how you cure the victim mentality, is by understanding that you have all that love within yourself, right? You don't need it from anyone else. You don't need attention from anyone else. You don't need to be the victim at all, ever in your life, right? But we fall into victim mode a lot when things are going wrong in our life. And I say wrong in inverted commas because, as I've expressed before on the podcast, I don't believe anything goes wrong in your life. I don't believe anything can go wrong in your life because you are 100% in control of it. Things can happen that are out of your control, but they never have to be wrong. There can always be a lesson in it. There can always be something that you can take from that experience. So being superhuman really is in those moments where you really, really want to fall into victim mode. Like I could have, over the past 2.5 weeks, just laid in that hospital bed, crying my eyes out, thinking, why is this happening to me? Everything's falling apart. I can't do my business, everything, But I, in those moments, chose to stay positive, right? And there's a wide spectrum of what positive means. I am not for 1 second preaching toxic positivity, right? I'm not saying I was sitting there telling myself I was positive when I really wasn't. I cried when I needed to cry. I slept when I needed to sleep. I did all the things, right? But it's a superhuman quality to be able to be positive in the hardest moments in your life. And in doing so, you attract the positive, everything positive that you want into your life. Okay? As I say, this is the basic principle of the law of attraction. You get in life who you are, what you put out there. You get in life the way that you be. And if you're being positive and you're being in a mindset of faith and, belief that it's working out for you, it will do. But if you fall into victim mode, it will very easily start spiraling. And I know this because for many years of my life, that's how my life looked. Another quality of being superhuman, really, that I've learned in this time is just being able to block everybody out when you need to block them out and let them in when you want to let them in, right? So I've absolutely loved having such a supportive community, all of you guys, really, it's all the messages I've received and the love I've received. And it's been just so heartwarming. But then at the same time, you can go online. At the same time as receiving all these messages, you can go online and you can compare yourself to people and go, oh my gosh, well, that person, look, I've been bedbound for a week. I've not been able to do anything. And now look at that person. Look at how much they've achieved in a week. And I'm all the way back behind here. Again, as I say, this could be business owners or this could be actors or whoever it is, because we're constantly in that belief of I've got to do. You can fall into that trap of comparing yourself, right? And felt that a little bit myself because I also had felt myself falling out of my spiritual practices and my routines, which I do all the time. I bang on about my rituals, and it's been so long since I've done a bath ritual, for example, and things like that keep me in that steady momentum. And so I found that I'd been falling off that bandwagon, really. And watching the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard court case and things like that, and just like filling my mind up with stuff that it didn't really need to be filled up with, and then comparing myself to people online. I mean, I'm not going to get into the Johnny Depp court case because that is like, everybody's watching that at the moment. But what I'm saying with that is that usually I'd be filling my mindset up with my spiritual practices and my rituals, and I haven't been doing that, and I've noticed that in myself. And so what I mean by kind of like letting people in when you want to let them in, and also blocking things out when you want to block them out, like a positive trait of mine is being able to just switch social media off and go, I'm doing me. Like, this is my time. This is my life. This is my momentum. This is like my time. This is the way it's happening for me. Like, I'm not the same as anybody else. This is my time to stop. This is my time to rest. I'm going to come back bigger and bolder than ever before. And just being in that mindset of like, it doesn't fucking matter what anybody else is doing. And also just knowing that time is not running out. I feel this is a belief that I have been like working to transform for a long time. And I fully believe this now. And it's a belief that I see in a lot of my clients, and a lot of you might relate, where you just got this feeling that time is running out. You know, you're feeling pressures. I even felt pressures from all angles. Like the weekend that my symptoms started, in terms of when I first got ill, which was weeks ago now, we had a big family weekend, and my sister, you know, she's getting married in September, and she's got a house, and she's, you know, got like Paul's like gorgeous fiance, and, you know, and I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, like my sister's only a year and a half older than me. And I am currently living on my own. I don't even date people. So how am I going to meet like a partner? When the hell am I going to have kids? Like, all of these things crept into my mind. Funny, because this is actually what I'm writing my sitcom on. But, you know, all these things, pressure, like, are suddenly mounted for no real reason, because I don't need to feel any kind of pressure from that at all. None of you guys do. But, you know, these things can happen to us, and it's being able to know and live in that belief that time isn't running out. It doesn't matter how much you get knocked back in life. It doesn't matter, you know, how much you have to stop and reset. Time is not running out. It's inevitable that you're going to be fucking successful. It's inevitable if you believe it, right? But only if you believe that it's inevitable. And in my mindset, I just believe it's inevitable. I mean, I'm already fucking successful, so the pressure doesn't have to be there, you know? But it is that belief about time as a concept. And this is like a big thing that I want to dive into inside the masterclass that I am going to bring out, because I think it's so fucking interesting, and I think it just changes everybody's perspective when we go in on that. And there's a whole like science behind that, quantum physics behind that, guys, right? Which I just love diving into. But yeah, being superhuman is really just this way of being that like outdoes a lot of other people in this world, right? And if you're listening to this podcast in the first place, you're already like on your way to being superhuman, because this is basically what I teach, is how to manipulate energy, how to work with the law of attraction, how to live a much more positive and happy lifestyle, and that in itself is going to help you see all kinds of success, right? That's being superhuman in itself, because a lot of people would choose the opposite. A lot of people choose fear. A lot of people are like pushed into fear because we are so heavily conditioned in life. You know, this is another reason why I don't watch the news. I don't do those types of things, because it pushes you into fear every single day. And being superhuman is being able to not live in fear, even when things seem scary, or even when things seem like they're going wrong. Not moving into fear, always moving with love and with a positive mindset, right? And it is easier said than done, guys. And this is what so much of the healing work I do, this is basically everything I teach within my academy. So you come out as that superhuman person. I just love this phrase. I don't know, like, it came through in such a strong download for me when I was lying in bed, this concept of superhuman, because I felt superhuman whilst I was in bed, and I was like suddenly going down this, having a little dip, you know, because we do, had a little dip, started comparing myself to people, and then I just thought, fuck this, I'm superhuman, right? I don't need to think this. I'm choosing to think and feel the most positive thing right now because, of course it's all working out for me, right? So I am really excited to teach this concept and also just get back into another masterclass with you all, because it's been so long. Like, it's been so damn long since I've actually brought out an offer, because everything obviously has been pushed back, right? All in divine timing, because that's the way it's supposed to be. That was always my path, right? But I've been working on this upgraded version of the academy, which I can't even, guys, I'm just so excited to bring it out. We've got so many new things in there. Like, basically it's just a combination of just accumulation of just everything that I have learned over like 3-4 years of my life, working with the law of attraction and, you know, creating a 6-figure business and, you know, getting seen and becoming the woman I am today. Everything that I have been through is inside that academy, with all of the spiritual aspects thrown in there. Like, that's basically, I've created a whole brand new module with talking all about the 5D, fifth dimension. And I just know that it's going to be like the best thing that I've ever brought out, right? But I'm working on it, you know, like, I'm working on it every day. And a lot of that's been pushed back because of being in hospital. So bringing out this masterclass just feels so right. It feels so right in my bones, because I, number one, just want to get back, and I want to get that energy back out there, because even though I'm still affirming, I'm taking it slow and I'm having my afternoon nap and I'm looking after my body so damn much, like loving my body so much right now, I also know that that energy is just really bursting to come out. Like, I can't wait to bring it to you guys and to get you in a space like over a big Zoom call with you all to freaking go for it again, get our energy levels back up, get our belief system back to a place where we fucking believe that we can do it. Whatever it is you want to do, you are capable of achieving it, right? And this whole concept of being superhuman and everything, I've already written so many notes. Like, I just know it's going to be, such an amazing masterclass. So basically, guys, I'm going to be bringing out more details on that when I feel definitely fit enough and ready enough. It's all going to be coming out on Instagram. So if you haven't already, go and follow me over on Instagram. I am Jessica Paul, because a lot of that will be out on the stories and updates and everything like that. But other than that, just again, thank you all for supporting the podcast, because this is where I'm hanging out like every week whilst I'm creating, whilst I'm doing all the content creation. And like I said, put so much energy into that. And it's all free content for you all. And so those comments and the reviews that you post and the reposts and the Instagram stories and stuff like that, means so much to me, because that's kind of, it's like that energy exchange in itself, and it just means so much to me. But yeah, I'm feeling so much better. Thank you all again for all your kind messages. I'm going to be back with my clients next week. I can't wait to be back with them and back with you all online in the online space, with all the mindset, manifestation, spiritual tips for you all. Doing what I love over on TikTok as well, of course. But just wishing you all a gorgeous weekend, and I'll be back soon. Sending so much love. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who you think would love it too. And if you want to let me know how you found it, just screenshot this episode, add it to your Instagram story, and tag me at I am Jessica Paul, so that I can throw all the love right back at you. And of course, subscribe, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review to show your support and to keep the good stuff coming. Sending you so much love and gratitude from your girl Jess.